thought that Guru means person.
You may meet him, you may greet him, you may even mingle with him, but the personality or the persona of the Guru is not the important aspect.
First, you have to work on that emotion before going to anyone, any guru, looking for any wisdom. Just free yourself from your mind with this pattern of your mind and let it fill with the light. Then you can decide for yourself.
There is a Guru that initiates you, which is the Diksha, and then there is a Siksha, like Guru who gives you wisdom. Guru can be found in everything, because anything and everything can be the light to show you the way, to teach you something. And I think a great example for this is Dattatreya. He had, I think, 24 gurus. I thought that Guru means a person, but through you I got to know that there is an inner Guru, there is an inner light that shines. And so Dattatreya, he answered to the king that the first is the self, and then comes the 24 gurus that he had. So there were people, there were animals, there were elements. In this video, I invited my wife, Aakanksha, to join, and there were some of you who wanted to know more after the video. Feeling stuck? Are you feeling stuck in your Isha practices? And there was a question from the community that I thought would be interesting to talk about. And so it was, what does it mean to have a guru? Who is our guru? Can we only have one guru? And I thought that we should talk about it because we have been speaking about this. I didn't had a guru in my life before. I didn't even know the concept of what a guru is. And then suddenly I had one without knowing what it actually means. And so I brought you here. So you come from a different background and you have a different insight. And I thought it would be valuable for us to talk about it.
Yeah, so most of us, we caught up in this mass, I think, what I feel, that collectively we question stuff when things happen with us. And it's same with the guru and how we know it's our guru. So for us to understand what it actually means to have a guru, we have to go through a lot of ignorance. We cannot just born and we know that he's our guru or whoever is our guru. But I think somewhere when we are growing up, no one tell us the meaning of actually following your heart. So when you know something, the first thing arises, not the trust, it's the doubt that how can I trust? And then our ego goes so much centered that we make everything about ourselves. I think there is a heinous pattern of mind which will tell you we are not enough and we have not done enough. We all caught up in this. I heard from someone, and he's a Siddha, that he's saying he feels that he's not done enough. When his pattern of mind, he goes in the loop. So I think the only difference between us, like we can say we are normal, and the Siddhas, who are enlightened beings, is that we are driven by our thoughts and emotions. And they are the one who driven their own thoughts and emotions. Even after this much difference, they are able to face this, like they are not enough, they didn't do enough. So you can see yourself, you can show yourself a little mercy that it's okay. It's a part of process. It's all about following your heart. If you are not hungry one day, then why you have to have breakfast at the same time again and again? If you are not feeling sleepy, then you can invest in something, because we are so processed by the metrics, or there is a schedule for everything and there is an answer for everything. When you go out, when you ask someone, everyone is there to give you wisdom. But in that chaos, we forgot to listen to our own voice, and our voice got so much deep inside that the only surface things are there. They are only doubts and fears and just darkness. There is no light we can see. So we ask answers outside, which is already within. So when I also goes in the loop, like when people questions me, I think women have this tendency that they are more into listening to their self. Women have this sharp insight when they know, and when they know it's no, then it's like a no. So I think I tune into it, and for that I'm able to guide him also when he goes in that pattern. So I think that's a major part. So you just have to find the voice within, which will tell you what to do and what not to do. And
who is your guru? Who is not your guru?
Even it applies with everyone. Which people we want in our life, which we don't want in our life. Why you're feeling guilt if you're moving on with something, even with your bad habits or
good habits.
What you feel it's good or bad.
Hmm.
So when this voice arises within you, you know, and only people who achieve this thing can only relate to it. Before that, it looks like a wisdom. One more things to add, one more things to, to follow, or whatever you can give this a name. So when you go in the dilemma, if you don't know anything and it's so stuck, confused, just tune in to your heart. Just go center within yourself. And for that, you don't need any sharp wisdom straight coming from, God, straight coming from Sadhguru or some bigger person. Just be within yourself and just take a deep breath and ask yourself what you actually want. Or maybe you're not looking for a guru. You're just here to live your life peacefully. What else?
It's very simple. It doesn't take any damn scripture or a guru to tell you this. It's very simple. Whatever the nature of your experience, it's happening within you. Is it so? You don't need some great yoga or a scripture or a guru or a stone that falls from heaven to tell you this. If the nature of your experience, whatever is the nature of your experience, whether it is fear, anger, love, hatred, ecstasy, agony, everything is happening from within you, it would be very natural for human beings to look and see how to make it into a most pleasant experience, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there is a misconception that we need a guru in order to make progress in life. At the same time, it is true that a guru gives you a big boost, and having a guru is a blessing. But we kind of become dependent upon the guru, and we turn something which is so miraculous and so wonderful into a dependency that we cannot find any answers without the guru telling us, go this way, do this. And I had this as well, where I had significant questions in my mind, like, should I stay at the ashram of Sadhguru and live there for the rest of my life, or should I go out and try to make a living, which looked so difficult, but because I was living at the ashram and I thought being outside is difficult and being at the ashram is easy, everything is taken care of, which then turned me into a victim, because instead of looking at it, okay, now I'm empowered, now I have all the tools, now I have everything, I should be the one who is going out and having a positive impact on my surroundings, on the people. I kind of went into the victim mindset of, I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough, I need to continue to stay at the ashram. And we've met a lot of people who go through the same thing. So if you're on this side of the coin where you have met Sadhguru, let's say, and you got initiated, you received Diksha, an initiation by him, and now you're wondering what's the right thing to do, I do want to talk about the difference between there's a guru that initiates you, which is the Diksha, and then there is a Siksha, like a guru who gives you wisdom, a guru who imparts a certain knowledge. And that could be a practice also. That could be anything. It doesn't always fit into the box that we have created. And you don't know how it's going to come, but these beings, these people, sometimes they're not even physical. They can be spirits also. They can be guides. They can show up in different forms. They can be animals. They can be elements. They can be insects. It can be anything. And that's, I think, what people miss, is that Guru is not just a person. Guru can be found in everything, because anything and everything can be the light to show you the way, to teach you something, And I think a great example for this is Dattatreya. He had, I think, 24 gurus, and one of his guru was the wind, and one of his gurus was the earth, and one of his gurus was the wasp or the caterpillar. And each of these had such a significant impact on his perception, on his life. What he learned by observing them was so tremendous, so powerful, that he took them as his guru, basically. And that time when he was living, I don't know what time that was, what yuga that was, but basically there was a king who asked him the question, how are you able to stay in this state of happiness? And who is the guru who is imparting you this wisdom, this knowledge? And he said that the first and primary guru is the Atman, the self, inner dimension, which is speaking, which you also talked about. And I was not familiar with this before. I thought that guru means a person, but through you, I got to know that there is an inner guru, there is an inner light which shines. And so Dattatreya, he answered to the king that the first is the self, and then comes the 24 gurus that he had. So there were people, there were animals, there were elements, there were insects, who all were his guru. And even with Krishna, he had a guru who initiated him into the lineage, but he also had a guru who initiated him into warriorhood, who initiated him into the physical art of archery and fights and to become a warrior. So even he had two gurus who served different purposes, which is the Diksha and the Siksha. And yeah, I think there can be an issue in the sense of, if you have a guru and he has initiated you, and you receive Diksha and you are into a specific lineage, because the moment you are initiated, you are part of the lineage. The guru makes you part of that lineage. And then if you find, another guru comes into your life and he initiates you into a different lineage, and you mix the two, what I've heard Sadhguru talk about and other gurus talk about is that there can be can work against you, because now your energy is not going in one direction, it's going in too many directions at the same time. So if you are at this point where you find yourself being drawn to one guru and not your previous guru, then what Sadhguru says is it's best to leave your first guru and go to the second, to the next guru. But at the same time, you have to distinct between, is that second guru really initiating you into a new lineage, or is he just imparting you wisdom? Is he giving you tools and techniques, and you are still within that same lineage? And I found it interesting that Sadhguru's lineage is Agastya Muni, which is one of the Saptarishis from Adi Yogi, from Shiva himself. And a lot of the gurus who are very popular right now, for example, Sri Paramahansa Vishwananda and Guru Pashupati, all of them have the same lineage, meaning that all of them are worshipping Mahavatar Babaji, and Mahavatar Babaji's lineage comes from Agastya Muni. So these three and Sadhguru are the same lineage. So let's say you practice something that was given by Sadhguru, and you combine it with a technique from another guru, but the lineage is the same, then how I see it, and I might be wrong, is that you're not, how do people say that? You disobey, like you're not going against your guru, and you're not a failure. That's something also that I struggle with a lot, that we go into the self-sabotage, that we think we are so bad because we are doing something which our guru didn't give us. But if you see that your guru is, the moment he initiated you, he empowered you with the capability to make your own choices, and with the intuition to have that guidance from within, and before you make a choice to do a practice, to follow the guidance of someone else, whether it be another guru, another person, whether it be an animal, whatever. If you follow the guidance or the teaching that you have received, you should be able to make that decision from within. You should not be needing to go to Sadhguru and ask him, hey, Sadhguru, is it okay if I do the Gayatri mantra? Because you said the Gayatri mantra can be very dangerous. So, like, what do you think that Sadhguru will say no, at no cost you can do it? Then why was this mantra given in the first place if it's not meant to be used for the right occasion and for the person who feels drawn to use it? So that's something there's a lot which I think I shared, but
Yeah, but if you are going again and again in the pattern of your mind of this self-sabotaging fear or guilt, first you have to work on that emotion before going to anyone, any guru, looking for any wisdom. Just free yourself from your mind with this pattern of your mind and let it fill with the light. Then you can decide for yourself. Unless we are in that pattern of mind with the fear of guilt, it doesn't matter. One day, even if you eat something, and next day you eat something else, you will feel guilt in that also. That you're betraying that food which you were eating before, which a diet you used to do before. So you're betraying your bodies. First, free yourself from that emotions which will pulling you down again and again and not letting you see the light which the world has to offer you, the divine has to offer you. Just give yourself a favor and free yourself from these emotions. Then you can decide for yourself.
yeah, I wrote something down before we came here just to make sure to cover it. And that is also to what I talked to before, is what I realized through speaking to you, that I used to think that there's only the external form of a guru, like the external teacher, master. And then through you, I figured out that there is the singular internal principle of the inner guru. And the concern with multiple gurus arises from confusing loyalty to the temporary human personality with devotion to the eternal singular truth, the eternal singular principle. That is that our guru imparts specific knowledge, our guru empowers us in a specific way, but in the end, it all leads us towards the same truth. And the external guidance or the external guru is actually a preparatory for recognizing the ultimate teacher who resides within. And so I think that is what we are just focusing on right now, not to tell people what to do in the sense of do this practice and that will fix everything, do this one thing and you will experience God. It's not so simple. There is one truth, but there are many paths. And I truly believe that we should, instead of talking about what to do, it's more about how you do what you do. It's more about the intention behind it. It's more about the integrity behind it. And that's exactly what you said, is that before you even think about, is it the right guru, the wrong guru, the right practice, the wrong practice, first you need to look at how you are within yourself and how you are talking to yourself, how you are thinking about yourself. Are you confident with your making your own choices? Do you have the courage to be wrong, to make a choice that might, because being wrong is not always a bad thing. Being wrong is admitting that you tried something and it doesn't work for you. And being wrong, for example, you did a practice for a couple of years and now you've come to a place where that practice feels like it's not working for you anymore. Does it mean that you were wrong all this time and you wasted your time? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that the practice had served its purpose and now it's time to move on. And there shouldn't be any guilt with that because there are so many ways. Even Sadhguru says that there are 112 ways, as according to Adiyogi. But that only relates to this human body. If you go with the human body, if you go with the techniques that are given by Adiyogi, but there are even more ways than that. So I think we shouldn't limit ourselves to what we have learned so far, but rather stay open and find ways to connect to that voice within. And maybe that's another That's another video that we can make where we talk about different ways to connect to that voice. If that sounds interesting to you, you can let us know down in the comments below and share with us your story, share with us your struggles. We are always in the comments, and we always love to connect to you. We love to hear about your story and your struggles. Our dog is starting to cry. He wants to leave. He is done, right?
Bilu, what happened?
So, yeah. Anything before we close?
Yeah, that's for all. We are here. If you have any questions or if you want to know something about, we will, as per our intelligence, we will answer your questions.
And this is what we are sharing. It's what is true for us right now. Now, what will happen tomorrow? What will happen next year? What is your truth? It might be completely different. So again, there's one truth, but there are many paths to that truth. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.